I grew up in Oakland. I went to schools around Oakland. Growing up, I was really into like theater and performing arts. So I was really like involved in, you know, being a stagehand or involved in being like, I don't know, help building props, makeup art. So I was always in the theater realm. So I guess drag now is just more of an outlet for me. Growing up was more of a, I don't want to say a struggle because I have a really accepting family, but it was like a lot of things that I did that wasn't normal to them. So they would always question certain things that I do, like my mannerisms and stuff like that. But I just continued to be me. I didn't want to change for nobody. So I never actually had to come out to my family. They kind of already just knew that I was gay. I was a kid who wanted to do something different. So when we got an ice hockey class, I was like, I'm gonna do ice hockey because I want to be different. It wasn't one of those things where I felt like I had to like, you know, mask being gay by playing a sport. I felt that it was something that was healthy for me to do because I was kind of overweight back in the day. You could say drag actually started from a really young age because like growing up, I would always like literally put on mom's like shirts or like put on like my big brother shirts that was like way too big for me and act like it was a dress and like, you know, like, no, like dance around like Tina Turner songs like So Love, watching like What's Love Got to Do With It. And it wasn't like me putting on makeup, it was just me like trying to be a performer, like a diva, you know, being a female impersonator, I guess. So that's where it started. But then when I was in college into like the theater realm, I started like making props in the scene shop. I started out like being in shows. I got more involved in like the actual makeup process. I'm like, I like doing makeup. I like the transformation, like make yourself look completely different. So I was like, I thought that was really cool. So I wanted to explore that a little more, but I never had the guts to do it. And my friend, she's my drag mom. Her name is Allie Hoyt. And she was like president of the SA club on campus. And she threw a drag show. And this was like my sophomore year of college. So she put on a drag show where she got someone from RuPaul's Drag Race to come, Shangela, from RuPaul's Drag Race. And I was like, I want to go check this out. And I had the most fun. I was like, wow, that man is up there serving it, looking gorgeous, looking really pretty, and up there like making the crowd happy. Things that I used to do as a child, like put on like dresses, like quote unquote, and like act like I'm performing. I'm like, I can actually do that. Like Lady Gaga, Beyonce, all these artists that I used to want to be like, I had the chance to actually kind of be like them. Got the name from Lady Gaga. Like I'm a huge Lady Gaga fan, and she came out with an album called Art Pop, and it was like around I want to say my sophomore year of college. And Venus was like my favorite song on the record, but on the album, but even though I liked that song, I was an RA in college, like I had like a lot of my res life buddies in the office, and they were like, Brian, you need a name, like you can't just call you Brian, like you're not Brian when you're on stage. And I was like, well, I don't know what I'm gonna do. And then they were like, what are things you like? And I said, well, Lady Gaga is like my girl. And I was like, you know, and my favorite song is Venus. So I was like, they were like, Venus, that's a beautiful drag name. I'm like, there's so many Venuses out there, you know, I can't just be like Venus. Monique was like Soleil. And I was like, Soleil? I was like, what is that? Like, you know, like the razor, the female razor, Venus Soleil, like the shaving razor. And I never changed it. When I first started, I was like, I saw this drag queen perform at one of our shows, and I was like, I want to do that. We had the following year another drag show. And I was like, I'm gonna do this. Like, I already said I wanted to do it, so I'm gonna, you know, take care of this, I'm gonna make it happen. And I signed up for it, and I would rehearse and rehearse and rehearse. And that was like the biggest moment for me because I stood on stage in front of my whole college in like a wig and a skirt. And I performed Lady Gaga's new album, Venus, and the response was crazy. Like Instagram was popping, like it was like, oh my God, like you did so good. And then like after that, I was like, I want this to be like something that I'm getting this kind of response. If I practice, maybe I'll become better. It's hard because there's not a lot of African-American drag queens on YouTube, so I didn't know what colors would match me, what to try. So it was a lot of trial and error and a lot of money wasted because I bought a lot of products that just didn't work. And then I recently did, I won first place. And I won first place because I went in there and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna do this, I wanna do this, like, I'm gonna just be my best no matter what the other people are doing. I'm gonna go out there and just do what I wanna do, you know? I was worried about the song choice, I didn't like the song. I was like, you know, I do like a lot of crazy kooky stuff. So, and the reaction I got from the audience was insane. Like literally, I look at the video clips and see how live and how much energy that I brought, how much energy the crowd gave me, how much money I made that night. And I'm like, this has to be the most successful performance I've ever had. I felt the best up there. The crowd was vibing off of what I was doing. So it made me feel like I could do anything, you know what I mean? Like I could be on stage and just do whatever and they're gonna like it. It's not about what I'm wearing, because I wear a lot of the same stuff. It's not about what you wear, it's about how you captivate the audience. And I think that is what made me feel like this is what I was meant to do. And that's why I'm not gonna stop. Because I'm popping. That's something that people misconceive a lot. They think like, oh, like this guy is putting on a wig and a dress and like he's doing all his makeup, he's putting all his time into it, he must wanna be a woman. But that's actually not the truth. I wanna just like clarify, like, a trans person, trans woman, trans man, whoever, they feel deep in their soul that they were born the wrong sex. They feel like they are trapped in a body that they don't want to be in. They feel deep down inside that they were supposed to be born the sex that they feel that they are. I just like the glamour and the beauty and the attention. I know it sounds like it's like vain to say, but it's true. Like the reaction that you get from like, you know, I spend all these hours on my makeup and like people really react in a great way. It makes you feel like, wow, like it's an amazing feeling. It feels like you're like a mini celebrity. Also, I'm really into theater, so I like performing, I like theatrics. I like doing things that, you know, other people don't do. So to answer your question, no, I don't want to be a woman. I love being a man. I just love the attention and the reaction people get when I do my makeup. Cause I'm like a 6'2" man that has like a football player build, but I can like make my face look like a slim, glamorous woman, you know, with all the glitter and all the theatrics, and that's what I really like about it. The deciding factor, honestly, is if my friends are gonna go out, if they wanna have a good time, who's performing, like if they say like, oh, like a RuPaul's Drag Race queen is gonna be there and I wanna meet them in drag because I wanna give them that respect that they came out in drag, I wanna come out in drag. So it just depends on the night, honestly, and if I have the time to get ready. I don't have to go out and drag, I just do it because it's fun. And like I said, the attention and the photographs, and the way it makes people feel. Like people come up to me all the time and tell me how much of an inspiration that I am, how like they wish they could do what I'm doing. I'm like, you can do what I'm doing. People don't have the mindset, they think that they can't do it. I'm one of those people that believe like whatever you put your mind to, you can do. So the deciding factor of me going out in drag, whether it be, you know, me as myself or me in drag, is just like the night. Like depends on like my friends are all going out in drag, they all want to hang out, take photos, if like there's going to be a special event. Ups and downs while going out as Venus is, of course, I'm like a huge guy and like these heels, so my feet are like killing me, and like sometimes the reaction is not so nice. Sometimes people can be really cruel and mean. That's another thing. Like I've had, you know, situations where people like call me names. That's like the hardest part. The weird part about me going out as Brian is that like no one really knows who I am. Like people know like I'm this fun guy and let's have a good time, but like if I go out and drag, people are like, oh, I know that's Venus. Oh, that's Venus, take a picture, let's go hang out with Venus. Like if I go out as Brian, it just is like, oh, you know, I'm out with my friends, you know, I'm hanging out. But Venus, people know who I am because of like Instagram, from like my performances, and I feel like I have like a following. Like, I'm not gonna say I have like a huge, like I have 45K, like no, I don't. I have a following, so I feel like that brings more attention to me when I go out. And I'm like really huge in drag, and I play off of that. I play off of being like this really big, huge like glamazon. But yeah, so no one knows me. So like I prefer going out as myself because it's more comfortable, and like I don't mind being myself. But like the attention that I get when I'm out as Venus is like kind of fun. So like the reactions are great. So I would say like going out in drag is the most fun. Most comfortable, myself. I know that I'm a man, so if you're like, oh, like he's over there, or like Brian, if you slip up and say Brian, I'm not gonna be offended. Or if you say like, oh, she's over there, or she's beautiful, isn't she? Like, it's cool because I'm dressed as a woman, so it suits me right, you know? So to answer the question, it doesn't really matter to me. I don't have a preference. Whatever you feel like calling me in that moment, as long as you're not calling me an asshole, we're good. I do know some queens who prefer to be called by their who they're portraying to be that night, whether it be male or female. Like just being gay is that like, since I'm gay, that I just wanna like hit on and like have sex with any guy that I see. That's a huge misconception or microaggression, I would say, because everyone just thinks that like, oh, let's not hang out with that kid because he's gay. Like when I was in high school, that was a big issue. Oh, I don't want to sit next to him because he's gay, or like, you think you're just gonna catch the gay? Like, you know, is it a disease? Like I don't know what it was. So like, I just want all these straight men out here who think that way, don't flatter yourself too much, because, you know, we really, we're like the last thing on our mind. Me being a drag queen, do I want to be a woman? People just always think that, oh, he's gonna transition, like when is he gonna come out with a video? And sometimes it's like that though. Sometimes there are drag queens who are trans women who that's their outlet, you know? It just depends on you as a person. Like, I just don't want people to assume that like, oh, just because he puts on makeup and heels in a dress that he wants to change his sex. Like, that's not the way it works. It helps me be a better person because like I can be really shy in bigger crowds, but like drag helped me become more outgoing as myself. Because I'm like a different person in drag, so like when I'm out of drag, sometimes I still have the same mannerisms as I do. Not that I say I changed as a person as a whole, but it just helps me just like kind of express myself in ways that I want to express myself as Brian. Because I'm like, if I could do this as a drag queen, if I can get on stage in like a dress and perform in front of all these people, like I should be able to like, you know, be cool as myself, you know, not worry about anything. My inspiration is just like, honestly, it's myself. I make my face look as pretty as I can. Like I really drive off like being beautiful. Like there's a lot of queens that like do like campy drag where they like draw, like, you know, they look like a clown. I've done that before too. Like they look a clown, or like they overdraw their lips like crazy. They make their eyes like black an eye out, make one eye like they put prosthetics on. I drive off the fact that I'm this huge football player, like build, but like when you see my face, you're like, wow, like he's so pretty, like, you know? So I just get inspiration from like just beauty gurus on YouTube. Like I like to take like normal everyday looks and make them dragged out looks, like a little smoky eye. My smoky eye, instead of it being like in the lid part, it'll blow out all the way out here, and like it was a lot of glitter, a lot of sparkles, a lot of glamour. That's what I'm into. I'm into just like the glamour and like just being, you know, as pretty as I can be. Yes, I do, because I am a brown skin tone, so I can't contour with like a regular like contour kit that anybody else, like a lighter skin person contour, because like the dark colors are my foundation color. So I can't contour with that stuff because it won't look like a contour, it just look like me putting foundation on my face. So like I use like blush, because it's a purpley tone. I use like a purple tone blush to contour, because you can see the color on my skin. I use like carding, so like to create like a sharp cheek line, I'll like do that to like make it like be like a line, so it'll look like I have like higher cheekbones and things like that. I like doing cut creases. So cut creases are like, a lot of people like blending eyeshadow on like the crease and like, you know, it's like making like a blown out look. But I like creating like a new crease. So if you look at my lid right now, you see that my eye crease is like right here. I like taking like an eyeliner or like a lip pencil, and I like drawing a line right here and going up. So my new crease, after like make definition, my crease, instead of being right here, it'll move up here, and all this will be like other eyeshadows and stuff like that. So my eyes look a lot bigger. So I like making my eyes look huge. Like I already have big eyes, but I just think playing off of that whole glamorous and like, you know, doll-like look, I like opening up my eyes. So like doing the cut creases because it makes my eye look bigger. The biggest advice I can give is just go out there and do it. It's one of those things where it's like, don't be afraid to do it, because you're not the same person. Like right now, I look completely different than I did when I first started. So just imagine me with the hair, the outfit, you just become like a totally different person. So live through that, express it. Once you do drag once, you're gonna not wanna stop. That's what happened to me. Like I literally did drag, I was like, okay, I'll try it. And once I tried it, I was like, okay, this is something I wanna like keep going with. So I just say, don't be afraid of it. If it's your passion that you wanna do, just go ahead and try it out. I promise you, you won't regret that you tried it. But then if you don't try, you're gonna spend your whole life wondering, like, what if I would've did drag? How would I look? Would I be a pretty queen? Would I be a campy queen? You wanna know what kind of queen you're gonna be because you didn't try it, so try it. You only got one life to live, right? And I just feel like this, they're not living their life, your life for you. So if you want to be happy and you want to like, you know, experiment, try new things, I say go for it, because they're not, like I said, they're not living your life. Because you're gonna spend the rest of your life wondering what if. It's hard to, you know, say that, because I'm sure like a lot of people think about like what, you know, what is their family gonna think? Are they gonna disown me? But at the end of the day, if you go the rest of your life unhappy because what your family's gonna think about you, then you're really not happy at all. That you're gonna be literally just in this circle of unhappiness, when you can do something you really like, be happy, and then have that little side, like maybe your family might get to learn to love it because they see how passionate you are about it. So I just say, kind of like put that on the back burner, and go out there and serve a couple looks. You can follow me on Instagram at Venus Soleil, no underscores. This is Venus, V-E-N-U-S, Soleil, S-O-L-E-I-L. We'll leave that in the description box below. I want to give a special shout out to Deja and Camille, because you guys put together this awesome documentary, and I can't wait to see it. Okay? Okay. And y'all are also popping. Okay. Oh my God, thanks guys, I love you. Wow. Who do you want to see?
People want hyper Deja. Okay. Yeah. Just want to give a special thanks to Venus Soleil and Brian McAllister for allowing me to do this video on them. You know, what's up? Anyways, the purpose of this video was to really educate everyone who doesn't really know too much about the drag community. So hopefully those basic questions that you may have had have been answered because Brian did his thing. Brian did his thing and he answered those questions, you know what I'm saying? But if you really enjoyed it, go ahead and smash that like button real quick so I know that you want to see more of Brian McAllister and Venus Soleil, because I'll gladly follow Brian around with this camera and film it all. So do your thing. Can I get a oh yeah? Oh yeah? Peace out.